Welcome to the third episode of interview tips for specific questions. The question we're going to be looking at today is somewhat, again, all of these questions are tricky and are designed to either designed to be a pitfall or designed to see if you can push above and give you an edge against other candidates. So the question we're looking at today is, why do you want to work for us, and why do you want to leave your current job? So there are a few do's and don'ts in this question that you basically have to adhere to. You don't want to be giving a bad answer to this question, since again, like a few questions, it could be a case of a straight no from this question. So first of all, try to phrase your answer in a positive light. Make sure that you're answering the question more for the fact that why you want to work there more than you want to work at your previous job. You want to phrase it so that you make it sound like the job that you're applying for is a better fit for you than the previous job, not why the previous job was worse than this job. Try to show positive facts rather than negative facts. Again, this point and this tip is something that you need to basically make sure that you're doing throughout. Trying to be more positive and be more enthusiastic than negative and being down on the previous job or any other question. You don't want to be too down. You want to be showing you're positive. You can make a situation better. You don't want to be showing, especially in this question, where you don't want to be showing that you're not adaptable to different situations. Maybe you were in a project that you weren't fond of for a while. You don't want to be showing that you're not flexible enough to be able to handle hard situations, or you don't want to. If you don't want to take those situations, you have to be able to say in a way that it doesn't sound like you're inflexible. So don't, and also another don't in this question is, don't talk about the money aspect not much at all. Try to basically limit it to a minimum. Try and talk about other factors and don't address whether you're just there for money. Try and say you're not there for money, just there for if you're going to get additional money or additional bonus or whatever. The monetary benefit, try and not emphasize that at all. Try and show that you're there because you want to be part of a community or values of that firm that suit you much better than the previous firm. You want to be showing that you want to be part of the community or a family in the new company, and you want to show that the already positive positives of the new company are one of the reasons that you want to join. Show that your desire for the company's requirements, show that you have a great desire to actually join this company, and even though that's not really the question exactly, you just want to be highlighting and making sure, giving an indication to the interviewer that you're the right person for the job. Remember, an interview is you're trying to convince that you're the person that they should take over the rest of the candidates. Even though all the questions you're answering you take that point into consideration whenever you're answering. Try and see how your answer is impacting the likelihood of your position, likelihood of you getting that job or not. So for example, try and be specific and say what you like about that company. So do some research. Don't go there blind and be blindsided and just say some generic values which the company hasn't really stated out. go on the website, go, if you can, talk to people who are at that firm and see if there are any values or any trigger words that the firm likes to use. So, for example, the word community could be a real trigger for managers and the higher echelons of management. Could be one of their trigger words, and they use it quite often and try to show the general public that they have a great community, and you want to be part of that. Try and emphasize this. Be passionate. Be complimentary of the firm, but don't go overboard. Like all questions, you've got to be to the point, but you've got to go in detail. But again, like I've said previously in episode 2 and episode 1, you've got to be specific. You've got to talk about the topics in detail, but you can't go way too much on specific points. You've got to show that there are multiple reasons why you want to join that firm. Then you've got to continually show that you're a better fit for the job, and you've got to say why the fit is also better for you, not only not only for the people who are employing you. Even though it's, as I've said just now, that it's important and it's vital that you think about how that answer impacts the chances of you getting that job. You've got to be able to say honestly why you think that you'll be a better fit. That job will also be a better fit for you. Going back to don'ts for this job. Don't say anything negative about your current or your previous employer or your manager. You don't want to be showing any negativity, or you don't want to be actually just digging the previous manager, because that gives a really bad reputation for the character and the way you're talking. You need to be positive. You need to, again, you've got to make sure that you're showing why this new job is better than the previous one, and not why the previous job was much worse than this one. You've then got to show why your skills and these skills, why the skills you have and the skill set that you currently have and are trying to develop are perfect for the position and the company. So you can't say you want to be developing when this job is maybe clearly above what skills you have. You've got to make sure they're in line. Also, make sure you're not giving them an indication that you're going to leave your current position at the company, at your previous company or current whatever company, soon. This isn't great for you, maybe later on in the interview stage or any stage, because it shows you're not, even though you may not want to be at your current company, you don't want to be giving indications that you can't adapt well to a new situation. You could have the obvious points of why you want to work there. You could have relocation issues with family commute in the previous job, and you can be perfectly honest with these things, but you've also got to mention and highlight why that job is better for you as a fit in terms of your skills, not only the extras. Also, again, don't mention money. It's just not a great factor to do so, and it doesn't really help you for the chance of getting that job. It's because most employers are looking for what benefit can you provide for what incentive do they have for you to come to their firm over someone else. Because they don't want to see someone who's just there for the money and not seeing the firm's picture and what the firm's trying to do. You've got to make sure that you want to show that the interview is that you want to take on you may want to take on a bigger responsibility at this firm, and this new job and this opening would allow you to do so. Then another way you can answer another point you can make in this question is you may feel that your talents are better placed at this job, but you can say this. You should be saying this in a way where you're making sure that you're not again putting yourself in a pitfall. You don't want to be saying that you're not adaptable or you can't work in different situations. You've got to show that your skills, you can work, you can adapt to different situations, but make sure that your skills and your talents are better placed in this new job, which would mean that you can actually help the firm in a much better way than you previously had been doing. Don't exaggerate how you would like to explore a new avenue, or you want to do something completely different, because you want to be able to, when you are making tons of examples, as we were talking about in the previous episode where you were talking about strengths and weaknesses, when we were talking about examples, especially in our strengths, you don't want to be talking about negatives or why you want to completely change from your previous line of job, because you want to be able to show that those examples of especially strengths, that they're more relevant. And now, since you've have those experiences, now you can come here and actually be much better. You've got to be positive. So in summary, you've got to be passionate about this job, and also this is a point that you've got to be honest. This is a point that's sometimes overlooked. You've got to be honest, and even though you can have anecdotes or examples which relate to you, you've got to make sure that you're taking the job which actually suits you, and don't actually just make sure that you get the job without being a good fit for it. Even though these questions, you want to answer them to the best of capabilities, you can be sure that actually the regret you'll have after getting this job may be worse than the previous job. It's got to be a balance where you've got to look at the values and see if this is a perfect job. So, to recap, as I said, be passionate, be honest, don't really talk about the money factor at all, and try and leave that to the salary negotiations and the aspect of the job where you can show that you have the biggest value and you can contribute most to the job at hand, and it helps you the most for the future and currently. So thank you for listening to the third episode, and hopefully you enjoyed it and learned something new. Please give me some feedback, and thanks for listening, and goodbye.